Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH. And this is the Ramsey Show After Show. I'm Coach Steve Money, I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you have money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That information is on the ticker below at the bottom of the screen. Also, it's in the video description. Merry Christmas, everybody. What is it? December 11. So still plenty of Christmas joy to be had. Market report. Oh, but I forgot to youtube.com/Coach Steve Money is where you're watching this. And for my other financial content, you just have to scroll down past the Oak Island playlist. Then you'll see this show, the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. This is number 435, so I've done a few of them. And there's also answering your financial questions stream where I don't do anything except answer questions. On the after show, I do a bunch more things like I'm about to do now, including the market report. Also, the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Singing not my regular job, but you might want to listen to them, and you are more than welcome, of course, to send me a recording of you singing the song, and I will be glad to play it. Now, where were we? That's right. We were going market report. And of course, it's not scrolled up. But hey, check it out. NASDAQ, 1.77%, by far ahead of all the other indices. That's plural for index. One of them, you can say indexes, but indices is more fun. Russell small cap 0.48%. It's almost half of 1% there, and over 0.75% for the S&P 500. It's a pretty good day, so definitely up overall. Sister Dow Jones that is down. See what the rest of the planet did. Mostly up in Europe, mostly up in Asia. So a good day for the world probably. The US dollar is above the euro, above the Japanese yen, above the British pound, love, but not above the Canadian dollar, sorry. And it is also above the Australian dollar, mate. So that's your dollar. Let's see what futures are looking like. NASDAQ and S&P up again. Tomorrow is in the futures there, but you never know. This can always change by the opening bell tomorrow when it goes ding, 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 ding. Oh, let's see. What else do we want to look at? Earnings calendar, Adobe today, and Broadcom and Costco tomorrow. Let's see. Do I have Adobe? They reported at 4 o'clock, and they were up a little over 0.5% today, but then in the after hours trading down 8.4%. Is the gray is the after hours trading, and there must have been some bad news. Let's see what it is. Adobe stock drops on disappointing 2025 outlook. That can do it. What else? Adobe reports record Q4 in fiscal 2024 revenue. Okay, so they can get a record on the actual money they made, but just if they say, well, I don't know if we're going to make that much next year, then that causes it to go down 8%, 8.3%. Now in this after hour trading. So despite the fact that it made record profit this past year. But that's the little stuff the traders like to get into, all the minutia on that. Apple is the only thing down 0.5%. all of the other, or not the only thing down, but of the most followed single stocks on the Google, this list, it's the only one that's down. Google has been up a lot lately. Let's take a look. Past few 2 or 3 days, it's been up a bunch. Let's see. This is just today's. You see the after hours in the gray. Down slightly. Yeah, so this is the past 5 days. See, look at that. So let's see what that looks like in the month. There's your month, and you don't wanna go sledding on the other side of that. You wanna stay going uphill there, but we'll see about that. There's your 6 month on the Alphabet, which does own the Google and the YouTube, which we're on now. So thank you, Alphabet, for existing. Anything else? Let's see. Tesla up 5.93%. Them being up big or down big is no big thing. That normally happens for them. And so, yeah, NASDAQ, that would be in your large cap managed fund if you're following the Ramsey advice into investing into retirement, into 4 different categories, 15% of your gross income if you are on baby step 4, which means you already have your full emergency fund and you have no non-mortgage debt. That would be, otherwise you would not be investing yet. If you already are, when you start today's plan, you stop investing temporarily just for a hashtag season while you get that debt paid off and that full emergency fund saved up. And then when you're on step 4, then you proceed investing again. But his the advice is a 4-way split between small, medium, small, mid cap, large cap, and international. 4-way split on that. And that's a mutual fund is already diversification, and then you get diversification on top of diversification there by doing those 4 categories. So that's what he recommends. See, we got some news stories. That's from Yahoo Finance. Let's see. Nice lights, Matty Bag says. Thank you. How's that go? What up, Matty Bags? Hashtag mention. That's from my Dua Lipa song. Parody, as it were. Her song Levitating and my song Baby Steppin'. So listen to that and that music playlist. The aforementioned music playlist. What up, Aslan? What up, HB? Marshall. His family is all about Marshall. Matty Bags and financial boundaries and how not to feel guilty. That's a good thing to read about, sir. All right, let's see. Back to the news. Yahoo! Stock market today. NASDAQ tops 20,000 for the first time as big tech surge leads stocks higher. Oh, yeah, so that would be a new record for the NASDAQ, I think. Let's make sure. Oh, yeah, I think we already looked. I think yep, it's way higher than it had previously ever been. So that's bags for your large cap managed mutual fund. And the S&P, maybe not. No, I guess that is too. Yeah, that went up how much today? 0.82%. Okay. So almost 1% up. And so this is just the one day, so it did drop back down a little bit, but for the day it's up. Oh, no, it's not. 5 days it's down. That doesn't, I guess that, yeah, that's a little bit down. Okay, so it's not at a high. All right. Dropped enough yesterday, I guess, to take it too far below and then didn't recover enough today. All right, so where are we? Yeah. I think that's all we needed on that. U.S. stocks rallied on Wednesday, led by big tech. Got to love the tech. And again, that's going to be your large cap. the NASDAQ index. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite amid a fierce rally in the Magnificent Seven tech stocks, and I think those are the ones that we look at all the time. That's this list here, where it says the most followed single stocks on the Google. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there must be one missing. NVIDIA, maybe. Let's see if it tells us which one it is. Google, Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Apple. Okay, it doesn't tell us what the other ones are. All right. Gotta know. Magnificent. Whoops. If you put your fingers in the right place, it helps. See, I need to be more famous so I can have somebody else do this. And just say, hey, like Joe Rogan just says, I can't remember the guy's name now, his producer that he just has do that already, all the time. Magnificent Seven stocks. It is Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, platforms, NVIDIA. I was right. What do I win? I guessed correctly. He chose wisely. So I think we're done with that one. Albertson, we talked about this the other day, maybe yesterday or day before. Albertson calls off merger and sues Kroger. So the judge said that it wasn't going to allow it. And Kroger, I did read this ahead on this, and Albertson is suing Kroger because it said they didn't do due diligence. They didn't do everything possible they could to make sure that the merger would go through. So good luck to both of them. But they also own the company owns the companies, so each one owns dozens of grocery chains, including Safeway, Vons, Harris Teeter, and Fred Meyer. From CNBC and BBC Business, Macy's employee who hid $151 million in delivery expenses was trying to mask initial mistakes, sources say. Well, I mean, stuff like that will get away from you. So if you're doing your job there and you made a mistake by like $10 in delivery expenses, and then you start doing other mischief to try to cover it up, I guess it got away from him. Started with $10 and I don't know how much it started with. Let's see, maybe it says strengthening our existing controls and implementing additional changes designed to prevent this from happening again. Yeah, you might want to keep an eye on stuff like that. Keep an eye on the numbers. So, do a budget and keep an eye on it. Cut its earnings outlook and slightly raised full year revenue forecast while still projecting a sales decline. Okay, well, that's not good for the Macy's. Oh, that looks nice though. Look at that. That looks nice and Christmassy. How about that? I wonder where that one is. Where? San Francisco, California, of course. The one at Easton probably looks good too. Oh yeah, I gotta figure out what night actually. I'm gonna go at night when all the lights would look better. Do a live stream there. With all their decorations. Let's see. I just want to say responsible individual, no longer with the company, following discovery of their actions. That is wise. Single employer responsible for small package delivery expense accounting, intentionally made erroneous accounting accrual entries and falsified underlying documentation. All right, fun times. And it just got away from them. How do they, I mean, does he get a percentage of like if his section or whatever has is solvent, if his section little section of the company is profitable, how does that help him to do that? I mean, he just says trying to mask initial mistakes, so maybe it doesn't help, but maybe he made the mistake and then he just kept doing it. And then before you know it, it's $151 million. And that's what happens too when, United States government said, hell, we don't have enough money to pay for that, but we really want to do this benefit thing for people. Well, let's just borrow the money for it. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're into trillions. That's 18 zeros, babe, in case you're counting. Oh, let's see. Check chat. HB says, pretty bad around it. Oh, San Francisco has turned really bad due to homelessness. That's correct. Yep. I would imagine that particular area where that Macy's is probably free of that. Maybe. You never know, though. But yeah, San Fran, I mean, the totality of California has its issues for sure. This from Fox News, the top Doge senator demands answers on plan to exhaust CHIPS Act funds before Trump arrives, and that would be the Department of Government Efficiency, and Elon Musk is in charge of that. And so we'll have to see what happens from that. Hopefully going to put the country on a budget and cut a lot of stuff that's not necessary. Like all the extra IRS employees that got hired under the Biden administration. Maybe those guys, maybe some of those can take a walk. But yeah, planning to spend now. So the CHIPS Act, it has X amount of funds in it, but if you have to hurry up and try to get rid of that money, so just so that the president-elect can't have it, I mean, that's not putting your country first. That's putting your little ideals in front of the country. But that shouldn't it's a politician. Like it said in Ramsey shoot chat earlier today. I'm jaded. I don't have faith in any politician, really. So we'll see. I mean, maybe some things will get cut and that'll make it better, but the deficit probably still going to go up. So they're not going to cut enough to make a dent in it. But maybe they'll get rid of some of the excess spending that is unnecessary. But yeah, they're just trying to run all that money out the door. And my question, I mean, that's been a while since they enacted that. So why isn't that already gone if it needed to be gone? You were fine with keeping it around, apparently, if your administration stayed in, apparently. So, interesting. Angry crash. It is also from Fox. It's from Fox Business. Angry customer crashes recently purchased Subaru through the doors at the dealership. Well, I mean, you gotta just wrangle in your feelings sometimes. Let's see. Disagreement out of Utah. Shout out Hobbs. Car dealership is escalated on Monday when a customer crashed the vehicle he purchased there into the building. Well, he wanted to return the vehicle for a refund, citing mechanical problems that it had, according to the outlet. He reportedly acquired it in an as-is deal that morning. All right. I mean, so if the thing says as is, you don't have a leg to stand on, but apparently when he threatened to do that, apparently they told him, something he had warned them he would do. And the guy said, we're like, whoa, we don't need to do that. Okay, that's probably I would love to know the age on that person that was said, we're like, whoa, we don't need to do that. Sit down. We can figure this out. We can find a solution. giving him options of a refund and a vehicle swap, but apparently he was too mad by that time anyway. So yeah, you gotta reel in those type of feelings. All right, so I teased this in the early morning hours in the Ramsey Show chat. And just in case you thought my life always went without incident, that is not true. I went to the store this morning, didn't have any issues. Driving home, started on the right side of the car, started feeling like a bumpity bump thing. And I thought, oh, is that the engine? Sounding a little bit louder than normal, but no, it ended up being the tire. And so I think I just talked about AAA yesterday or the day before, very, very recently. I think this week, or maybe it was on Saturday's special Answering Your Financial Questions show. But I did talk about AAA recently, and again, if you have to have one incident, basically it pays for itself as to what if you had to call a garage and such. Now, I did have a donut in there, and I could have done it myself, but I couldn't figure out how to get it out of there. I unscrewed the thing on the it's just a donut, unscrewed the thing that keeps it in place. And I thought it was locked in some other way, and there wasn't anything in my manual about it. But the AAA guy that came, he just pulled it up apparently way harder than I did, and it broke out of there. So let's see. There we go. There's the lovely 2005 Suzuki Verona. Had 80,000 miles on it when I bought it. And there's the AAA vehicle right there. And I pulled off on a little side area road that wasn't busy. Nobody uses this a lot because it goes into a business up here down the road. So, yeah, it was snowing this morning, as you can see on there. So, very Christmassy, very cold, and it's going to get worse. But I guess I'll be buying a tire mañana. And that means in the morning, tomorrow. That's right, there's snow. It happens around here in the Midwest, HB. Yeah, it was just a little, it wasn't even supposed to accumulate any, but it did just a little bit, just a little coating. Marsha got mad at a dealership when they did not deliver tags and temporary tags had expired. I said, what if I get pulled over? They said, have the cop call us. I said, no cop is going to call you. That's right. They're probably not. But Marshall, did you say, if you don't fix this right now, I'm going to run the car into your window? You could have tried that. Yeah, perfectly safe HB. And I didn't ever think about, well, let me just try to pry it out of there, or let me just, do the Hulk and just, I didn't think about doing that at all. And so, but my boy just took it out of there. And so he was fast, friendly, fabulous. Fabulous experience. So I will give them a definite feedback on that. If they send me something to, I think they're supposed to send me something to reply to. They have not as of yet. And I'm so pleased with that. I will probably see how to feedback on it, even if they don't send me a request to do so. Oh, turned out they didn't have a clear title for the car they sold me. I got badder. Yeah. They sound like they dropped some balls there, Marshall. Let's see. So we're still doing Facebook questions. This is the Ramsey Solutions Run group on Facebook, and there's only one of those in the whole wide world, and that is on Facebook, and it's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community. And I just pulled the questions. It doesn't have the usernames because most often the usernames are the people's actual names, so I just grab the questions, copy and paste them out of there. And so maybe tomorrow we'll see, or by next week probably we'll get back into the Reddit questions. But for now, these are good, and they are, I guess they're pretty similar because you still have people, even in the official group, that are doing it wrong and trying to scheme and scam and such. But I don't know. It just seems a little bit more chill, but not, not that much, because you still have people doing the same dumb stuff, even though they're in that group where you would think they would be more familiar with Dave, but not necessarily. So let's see. What would Dave say? A personal loan balance is 27K and interest is 17%. Don't care. I could move it to a credit card. That's a no for 4% transfer fee. So the first thing in baby step 0, one of the components of that is to not incur any more debt. You're deciding you're going to pay off all your dumb, stupid debt, which is all of it, and you're not going to take any more out. And this is, of course, we're talking about non-mortgage debt here. So, and you decide you're not going to do that. You're going to pay everything off, and you're not going to take out any more. And so this is adding to the more. And the idea is that you pay it off before the interest rate savings would have time to justify the fee, to even break even with the fee. So that's a no. We're trying to change behavior here by not moving it and always churning. Doing card churning is what the kids call it. And so 0% interest, it doesn't matter. That's 4%. You're going to go into debt more immediately. It's going to go on to that. And you will be more in debt. Even if you're not doing interest, they're charging you ahead of time in the form of a transfer fee. 0% for the next 12 months. So why are you going to have it for a year? It's $27,000. Work more, spend less. Note, I'm not trying to move debt around. That's exactly what it is. Simply trying to shorten my payoff, and this would save me thousands in interest. Well, you're planning on keeping it too long. You need to work more and cut your budget and maybe sell a car or something like that to get rid of the debt faster, instead of worrying about the interest, thinking the interest is the not the problem, you're the problem. So take care of, fix yourself by selling a dumb car. If you have a dumb car payment, sell that car and get a cheap beater. And get that paid off ASAP. So you keep that, and you know that it's 70% interest, so that's supposed to motivate you to pay it off faster instead of letting it ride out like you're apparently doing. And so, yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing that people would do on the Reddit. I would expect to see that on the Reddit. And I guess I expect to see it here as well, because people are always going to want to scheme and scam, and sometimes they actually don't know what Dave's advice is on it. They went under? Marshall's car dealership went under? Aslan said, Dave would say, get a second and third job and pay up the $27,000. That much is certain. Aslan, know what up. I have about 7K left in my retirement fund that I funded myself. That's not enough. Almost certainly. Retired 16 years ago for medical reasons, needed back and foot surgery, and felt like the pain was literally eating me alive for many years. I've had all bills on auto pay and money in the bank from selling a house in Austin, Texas that I paid $65,000 for in 1994. Okay, developed a very bad habit. Bad habits lead to death. Spending habits, and opened the Discover card this month. That was dumb as crap. Oh, 79 and in debt. Yeah. Developed a very bad habit of spending without looking. Oh, you were looking, you just weren't concerned about it. You didn't care at the time. I'm trying to change my spending habits. Better late than never. And open the Discover card this month. You don't change your spending habits by opening a credit card. That's dumb as crap, lady. 1,200 in 1 month shocked me. Yeah. Looking for some encouragement. Yeah, stop doing dumb stuff and do the right stuff, and then you will have progress, and then that will encourage you. I've had my car 25 years and have a low mortgage. It's just the addictive shopping. Thrift stores, that's killing me. Normally it's my loneliness is killing me, but in this case, this 79-year-old lady is thrift stores. Got a great idea. Don't go to thrift stores. How about that? You know, like an alcoholic, you would say, oh, maybe don't go to bars. You know, maybe hang out somewhere else. I've been single 30 years. I'm living in a good sourcing town. Help. Okay, I don't know what good sourcing town means. I have no idea what that's there for. But yeah, do it. Don't do your dumb stuff. Follow the baby steps. Still, if you're breathing, you can follow the baby steps. Pros and cons to using a company like Edward Jones for investing in a Roth. Yeah, you want to have it at a brokerage that you've heard the name of before. I would always suggest that. And rather than doing like a gimmicky, trendy, new thing like the Acorns or Robinhood or any junk like that that's newer. I mean, do it with a brokerage that's been around for a minute is what I do. But more important than that, and there's not much difference between the ones that have been around for a minute, a hot minute, as the kids say. There's not much different in those. The important thing would be what managed mutual funds you buy to put in that Roth. So there are no cons to it, to using a company like one that's been established, like Edward Jones, like Fidelity, like Schwab. Blanking on some other ones at the moment. Dear husband and I, that's what the DH is. That's internet speak, forum speak. Dear husband and I are baby step 4. Congratulations on that. 22-year-old son, my stepson, I guess, has moved in with us after a breakup in which they were residing together. And this is why you don't do that. The breakup is a good move for him as she was emotionally and physically abusive. Okay. And pushed unnecessary expenses on him. He shared the financial responsibility of her 4 very large dogs. I mean, that was... So she pushed it on him. He was the one that agreed to it, though. Unless she was literally stealing money from him. He agreed to that. So that's on him. Financing a near $4,000 engagement ring, as the previous $2,000 one was not good enough for her, and more. And then that's when you bounce. At that point, you don't wait until it gets worse. It is, and trust me, of course, it's easier. It's easier to see this on the outside than for this person, for her stepson. Definitely easier for me to see it than it was for him. Of course. It is the desire of both my husband and I to get him set to make responsible financial decisions, that he may... That's too many abbreviations in one. I'm sorry. That he may become debt-free and obtain an apartment of his own. Yeah, let's guide him towards that. His current debt that we know of offhand, he can get a credit report, make sure she didn't put anything in his name, that kind of thing. Is a car loan of approximately $9,000. If need to, can sell the car. Credit cards totaling approximately $5,000 to $8,000, and a personal loan to his ex-fiance of approximately $5,000. I'm going to go ahead and say that money's gone. That money's gone. Okay, so if that's in his name and not hers, that money's gone. So you got to pay that for sure. He's currently unemployed, however, seeking. Yeah, that would be the first thing. Get a job, even if it's Taco freaking Bell. Dear husband and I agreed he can stay rent-free for now, however, help with chores. Certainly. Whatever, stipulations you have to put on it. Once he becomes employed, he will contribute to groceries. Great. That is about all we have, as this is a brand new situation. Did it again, sorry. Would it be proper for him to be accountable for his expenses, savings while residing rent-free? Yes, it would be. The idea is that he doesn't stay with you for a prolonged time. He gets his act together and pays that debt down and gets in his own apartment. Would it be suggested to discourage sleeping in till late morning? Yeah, you can require him to do whatever you want. You hold all the cards here because you have a house. And if he doesn't like it, he can bounce. How should we guide and set boundaries? Hashtag boundaries. Paging Dr. Cloud. Paging Dr. Cloud. Yet respect that he is an adult and allow... Well, he hadn't behaved like an adult yet. And definitely sleeping in is not, when he should be having a job. That is not an adult. That's not adult behavior. So he needs to take care of his debt. Allow room for healing and personal growth, but not enable. Again, you can put it's your house, your rules. You guys get to make the rules. And, you may want to, since that's your stepson, you may want to let dear husband take the lead on that and decide what stipulations are in there. But let's say, aside from budgeting and baby steps, what else would parents who have been successful in this situation recommend? Please help us help him. You can require and you can pay for it, or make him pay for it, make him get a job immediately. Like I said, you can't be picky in this situation. The only way that he can be picky about a job is if you allow him to live there without getting one. So, tell him you need to get a job this week. Get on it. Even if it's Taco Bell, you can continue to look for a better job. But do not do that. And so the being without a job, too, that could have been failed relationship fallout or something like that. But that should have never happened either. Even while he was living with her, you still need to have a job to pay for stuff. Pay for expenses. So, but yeah, you can do whatever you want. FPU might help. But, if you already know all the things, you can teach it to him. But yeah, making him go through FPU, that could be one of the stipulations in order to stay there for free, in addition to anything else you feel like you want to do. You are the one that gets to make that decision. So it doesn't matter what any of the rest of us think about that. So you can require anything. Do I have live chat on? I do. Okay, great. Just making sure. Sometimes it's on top chat. Can you put money into something for your child that's better than a savings account? Yeah, I think you can do like a high yield savings as a custodial account. Maybe even brokerage. I don't know that you can put a brokerage account in a child's name and you be the custodian of it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But at any rate, you could put it in, you could open an account in your name and you just know that it's for the child. and that would be, but that again, that wouldn't be advised, especially a teenager gonna need a car or want a car anyway, probably. Although the kids today, apparently they're not all hip about that or all jazzed about that, about getting their driver's license the second that they can get it, like we were back in the day. Um, we didn't have all the screens all the time, 24/7 screens available, so we wanted to be able to drive to places to do things. Um, so yeah, you can, like, just a savings account, you can open that definitely in there, have their name on it as well, but you're the custodian of it. It's called a custodial account. And so you can, but there will be expenses coming up, and the basically for kids and uh, young adults, like through early 20s. It's just a pile up cash. The advice is to pile up cash and not put it in a retirement account or anything like that. I mean, you can do a brokerage account, but the problem is the child may want to use the money for a car or something right when the market's down, and so then you haven't done any good. Then you haven't made any money off of it. So that's why it's better to just have it in maybe a high yield savings account, if at best, or just a regular savings account at your bank. Hey, good day, good day. Wanting to get a head check on a few things. I don't. This person's didn't say good day, so probably not Australian. Dave has got me all fired up. Good. After many, all fired up. That was a song. I feel like that's Pat Benatar, maybe, or someone trying to be like her, maybe. Can't remember. 80s, I think. After many, I'll have to look that up if I remember once the stream is over. After many, many months of listening, I think it finally took me to seeing a plus sign. Oh, in front of my net worth. I got it. In front of net worth to get blindingly focused on the program. Okay, great. And I think this is a different one. 1K in cash saved. 20K car loan to be paid off by the end of January. About 110 owed on a home with a value of 325K in value. A value of about 325K in value already. Should have 6 months bucket by mid-June. That would be, I guess, a full emergency fund. Not sure if 2024 tax payment will be due. You mean you don't know if you'll owe one or not? Okay. I don't think that I put the spaces in here, so I don't think this is the same one. So what do I have to say about this? Paying off 20K between now and the end of January. That's fabulous, of course. 110, okay, owning a home, okay, and that's fine too. So the 6 months emergency fund, and then that's when you start investing. And if you were doing that already, you should have stopped that already. Let's see if this is actually a continuation. I don't think it is. To set the stage, I have 11 billion accounts. I mean, that means a lot. Exaggerating though. Checking and savings open everywhere and working to consolidate. Feel free to give advice in order of questions. I'll give advice any order I want to, sir or madam. My question would be, why do you have 11 billion accounts? And I'm fine with you having multiple accounts all over the place. But somebody that, oh gosh. Oh, what's that guy's name? Ramit? The financial advisor Ramit, he had that show. And on there, one of the broke people was like, oh, I like to have a little bit of money everywhere at bank because that makes it seem like it's more money. No, it doesn't. So that's dumb. That's a dumb reason. Now, having different accounts, if you have different accounts for different expenses and that helps you stick to the budget, that's fine. Knock yourself out. Otherwise, there's no need. So I would ask, why are they open like that in the first place? So you're working to consolidate, you can do that. consolidate to all accounts, the savings and checking, yeah, out of a single bank. Why not? Why not? I mean, the only reason you might consider doing that is if you have over the insured limit, and that's like what, $225,000 or $250,000 at each financial institution, and so you can bring it down to you can go to different ones. But if you don't have that much money in it, why do you need to go to different banks? Consolidate as much as possible to single investment house. We have Fidelity through work for matching 401ks. Is it okay to have Chase accounts for Roth? No. You don't invest through a local bank. They normally have much fewer options, and so you're not getting, making as much in that Roth account. So that's a no. I have my Roth at Fidelity, and so why wouldn't you do it? That way you can look at both things at the same time. I need to get hip to the waterfall effect when that time comes. Okay. I guess that means just he's waterfall effect. That's just talking about the extra money coming down when it starts growing more, I guess. We're not quite at 6 months of living expenses. So you shouldn't be worried about investing. You shouldn't be doing that until that full emergency fund is done. Is it okay to leave HELOC in place until we have that for quick access to cash? No, you should need to pay the HELOC off first before you have more than $1,000. HELOC is baby step 2 debt. Pay it off. I think the answer is no. You know what it is. However, where we come from, that was our quick access to cash. Yeah, that's how we don't do that. So wherever you come from is doing it wrong. So I don't know where you come from has to do that. And so that's not, I got a great idea. If you need quick access to cash, have it be cash, and you don't get quick access to more than $1,000, and you only do that if it's an emergency. You don't get that until you're higher in the baby steps. How in the world, when you get gazelle-like, do you be patient between paychecks? I got a great idea. If you are impatient, get your butt to work more. Sell stuff. Look at your budget again and cut stuff out instead of just being impatient. Do something to make it happen faster, to go more gazelle. Beyond that, I mean, if you're working as much as you reasonably should, and you're doing everything else you can, it's only going to go as fast as your income allows it to go. So you gotta accept the reality on that. As then about the bank said, maybe 2 banks if you're concerned one of the banks might fail and you would be locked out of your money for 4 to 7 days. All right. Paid another $1,200 towards my mortgage today. Only $8,450 left on the house. $8,450 left on the house. Fabulous. The goal is to pay it off before I turn 21 in the spring. I would imagine that wouldn't be a problem with just $8,458, and you were able to put an extra $1,200 on it. So I can do this with a single income. You can. Oh, okay. If I had the you there badly. If I can do this with a single income, you can too. Okay. He or she right. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did. Lois Sema, we did it. We paid off the house. Official baby step 7 here. Hi everyone. On post / question. Context. I'm a nursing educator for a large hospital system. That's Spanish as well. Running a program to orient new internationally educated nurses to the U.S. and our healthcare system. All right. That may take some orientating to do. to get that accomplished. Question: we are doing a financial literacy day, as this is the most money many of these nurses have ever made. Yeah, so I mean, especially if they're from like third world countries and such, their economy is going to be so different than us, and this will be a shock. Like I mean, the culture itself might be a cultural shock as well, but with the economy, how the economy is, and the amounts and such are going to be way different likely. And many send money back home. We want to go over a budgeting 101 crash course to ensure they are allotting money appropriately for life in the U.S. on top of sending money back home. I come through the Ramsey website and have done the step-by-step to create a budget, sinking funds, emergency funds, and the difference between a traditional savings versus high-yield savings account. Is there any other important concerns you would tell these new to the U.S. nurses in terms of financial literacy? We do have people from our system coming to talk about our retirement and benefit options. Thanks in advance. That sounds like the that sounds like the that sounds like pretty much everything. You could, like, if they are all from one particular country, or like you can pick the country that most of them are from, if you can get that data and find out how much, like, the cost of living is different, so that you can go over with that with them. You can pick like different grocery store items, like a freaking tomato or an avocado, or you know soup, or what, any kind of normal items that you would buy at the grocery store, and like see what it costs, in their country, and see how that compares to what it costs in the United States. You have to convert the money as well, so you would have to tell them how much it costs. You have to convert the U.S. dollars to their money, or vice versa. Convert their country's money into U.S. dollars, so that they can see what the difference is. So that's about the only thing I can think of. I mean, if you're in charge of the HR or something like that, maybe you can do, oh gosh, what's the name of that program? Program. And they may not even call it the same thing anymore. It may be part of FPU now, even. It's been years and years and years. There's a different name of it. It's basically FPU for businesses. And so you could see about getting that in, if you have a budget to do that. But it sounds like, the creating the budget is fabulous, and how sinking funds work, and the emergency funds and stuff, and the traditional savings versus high yield savings account. And that's about the only other thing I can think about, the differences in the currency and the cost of living here as opposed to the country they came from. Cool though. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you have a budget that can pay for the class, certainly do that. I wish I could think of the name of it. Let me see if Ramsey business version of FPU. Does the Dave Ramsey program really work? Yes. Financial Peace Workplace Edition. Discontinued by manufacturer. Okay, so they don't have that anymore. But it was called something. I can't remember. A person that used to come in the Ramsey Show chat, a young lady that lived, I think, on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio, said her government office offered it for them. Financial Peace for Business. I get, maybe that's what it used to be called. Yeah, I can't remember. There was a different name for it. I can't remember what it is, but it was like a workplace version of that where you would where the employer could buy that and offer that to employees. If I remember, I will research that more and come up with that name and see if they still have it or something similar. We sold the car. Excellent. We were sick and tired of being sick and tired. We decided to take our debt payoff up another notch to Gazelle Intense. And selling the car is the way to do that. We decided to sell our car that had $22,000 left to pay and bought a hoopty. And that's how you get rid of a lot of debt fast. That's exactly how you do it. People are like, oh no, I don't want to take the chance with a hoopty. Oh, I need my $22,000 car. And probably not worth $22,000 either. So you might have to kick in some extra money to pay that off because of the depreciation on it, which is why you don't buy cars on financing anyway, just cash. Oh, with the equity on the sale. Okay, it's on the SALE, not on the sell. Sell's the verb. Now we have one student loan left for $27,000. This sped up baby step 2 by 5 months, right? And that's how you do it. You get drastic progress by making drastic decisions, by doing drastic things like selling the car, even though, oh, that's not and just buying a beater, that could have more problems and blah, 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 blah. If you're thinking about selling the car, do it. Let's say you just completed step 2. You do not have your 3 to 6 months emergency fund completed. You have a small bump of income from a side hustle. Is there a reason not to put it on your mortgage versus in the emergency fund? Well, I can think of 7 really great reasons, and those are called the baby steps, and all this has been figured out for you already. So let's see. 3 to 6 months of expenses, emergency fund, that's step 3. Paying off the home early, putting extra on the house is all the way in step 6. Do you think you skip part of step 3? And you think you just, because you got a little lump sum, do you think you can just skip to 6? You think that's what Mr. Ramsey would advise? The answer would be nay. Baby steps in order always. Edit ad, thank you everyone for your comments. I think I knew the answer, but needed the push to do the right thing. Yep, people are always trying to fix the baby steps. They don't need to be fixed. Alrighty. Smart dollar, that is the one, Sid. Sid wins, yay. Sid wins. You remember her, Sid? I think her name was Jen. That's been a hot minute, as the kids say, though, last time we saw her in the chat. But yeah, she was I can't remember if it's some kind of government thing. I can't remember if it was law enforcement or what, but anyway, I was surprised because the government paid for it, apparently. So granted, it was, I think, like I said, on the outskirts of the city of Dayton, and so it could have been like a county, and that might not be like, your big city governments, possibly. So yeah, I don't have a prize for you, unfortunately, Sid. I know what I'll do. I'll make you a mod. How about that? Let's see. Me and my husband are in a predicament. Was hoping for some advice. Okay, I'd be happy to give it. Our goal for the last 5 years of marriage has been to pay off our bills, including our home. Okay, so debt is different than bills. Bills is like your electric bill. That's a utility. That's an expense. That's not a bill. Which is a single wide. Oh, I think I did this one. We still have about 16,000 left on our home and land, and then we would like to rent the place out. My husband father is getting remarried and selling a child. Oh yeah, this was a husband really does not want to let it go, which is under. But my father-in-law is not willing to wait for us to pay off our current home. Right. So if he wants to sell his house, let him sell his house. So what would you do? I wouldn't pay off a double wide trailer and then rent it out when you upgrade in house. I would sell it and use that cash for part of the down payment for a higher down payment. Alrighty, and yeah, like I said, I think I did that one previously. That's my bad. That's what you see that. You see NFL players doing that all the time because it's like, well, we saw on the screen that you fumbled the ball, so we know it was you, but they're like, that's on me. That's on me. But it's good to take responsibility for sure. Once again, Coach Steve Money, youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. You can just scroll down past the lovely numbers of the Oak Island playlist and you go to the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. That's this show. And the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist as well. And that's, something like what, 435 and 130. That's like 460 some episodes, normally at least an hour each, and so that's plenty of me talking and saying people are you doing it wrong and that is so dumb and stuff like that. So enjoy all of that, and the music playlist has again 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Please listen to them, and by all means, most people can probably sing better than me. Go ahead and knock a version out and send it to me. You can do that, coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and I will play it on the after show and risk the wrath of the copyright gods just to hear. But I would love it. I have not heard anybody sing any of my songs. A couple of people have told me that, like, when they hear the "Love Yourself" song come on, they sing the Baby Step songs lyrics, like in the grocery store and stuff like that, or say that's all they think about when they hear it, and that's fabulous. But I've never heard anybody else sing any one of my songs. I'll probably dig out if I just gotta find it. Aubrey's "All I Want for Christmas," and play that again this year. So I'll have to remember to look for that as well. Alrighty. Let's do some plugs. I am Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And hey, if you have money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. Links in the ticker below, also in the description of the video. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, or anything else on your mind at all, to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, the Cash App $Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, again, a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, that would be this show, and that is the Ramsey Show After Show, and that is approximately 5:25 p.m. Monday through Fridays until further notice. Occasionally might do a weekend stream as well, and that would be at normally 4 p.m., but I will try to let you know as soon as I know about that. Possibly this weekend, we'll see. And what else? I'll also be doing the last new show for the Ramsey Show is on this coming Wednesday, a week from today, December 18th, and that is their annual giving show, and that's their last new show of the 2024. And then after that, it'll be replays until the first week of January. But after those replays, I will still be doing live shows. Unless I get a job and can't, and I'm working during this hour. And I may still do like after show after once I get home from work. Like I did used to do that. I would get off work at 7 o'clock, and then I would do that about like 7:15 or 7:30. Something like that. So I'll see. You won't be able to keep me away for good on the financial advice. I would at least, if I'm working Monday through Friday, I would at least do the weekend stream for sure. Alrighty, thank you everybody so much for watching and chatting and liking the video. Please like the video on your way out. That would be the thumbs up button. And subscribe, obviously. And if you've done that, thank you so much. And I guess that'll be it for today. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.